What's up, guys? So I'm back. I'm going to talk a little bit here about some battery tools. There's been a lot of videos I've been watching lately on YouTube, about battery tools, battery tools, battery tools, battery tools. That's supposedly the future. If you've seen any of my other videos, one thing I hate is rechargeable anything. I've been getting off the rechargeable bandwagon just as fast as I've been getting on it, especially with like flashlights. I absolutely hate rechargeable batteries and flashlights. They're just not dependable. If you're going to be out for days, camping, hiking, whatever, you can't rely on a rechargeable battery. So, for all my lights, if any of you've seen any of my other videos, all my flashlights use AA batteries because it's more reliable. I can just buy a pack of four, and typically those four batteries could last me 3 or 4 days out on a hike or camping or fishing or whatever. So, um, I'm not a Ryobi fanboy. I mean, I have some Ryobi stuff here. I have it because basically I bought this, which is one of the best Ryobis in my opinion. This is very old. I've had it since maybe 2008. In my opinion, this is when Ryobi made great tools. When this blue line, until they switched to this green garbage. Um, so it started with this. I already had this. I was using this at the dealership. Um, I have different adapters, quarter, 3/8, half inch. I don't use it for anything heavy. Um, but it started with this, and then I figured, well, I already have a bunch of batteries for this, and then Black Friday came around, and this was like $25, which it's not a great drill, but it did come with a battery. So I figured, well, I get a battery for $25, even if the drill is garbage. It's okay. I've had this for 3 years. It works. It does what it does. It's a drill. It drills things. Um, it is what it is. I haven't had any issues with it. It still works. I use it every day. I beat the crap out of it. It's a drill. I mean, it works. It drills. Are there, excuse me, are there better drills out there? Yeah, of course. There's always some. There's always a better something out there. I've had this for a couple years. This is actually pretty great. The problem is with this is it chews through batteries like crazy. So, you want to make sure you have big batteries. But this thing is awesome. It's a trim router. I use it all the time on projects. It's great. It just chews through batteries. So, I was watching a video just a couple days ago. This guy was trying to cut through like a propane tank to make a barbecue grill, and he had a DeWalt grinder, I think it was, battery grinder, and he went through like 10, 12, 13 batteries and still couldn't get through it. I mean, would I have went through 13 batteries? No, I probably would have went through one or two and said, okay, this is not going to work. So after like 13, he goes and grabs a quarter grinder, and in 2 seconds, after who knows 30 minutes of trying to use a battery grinder, and gets a plug-in grinder, and in 2 minutes he's done. So battery technology, is it better? No, it's not. In my opinion, it's not going to go anywhere. I mean, this is probably as good as it's going to get. I don't see battery technology getting any better than what we have here. I mean, it's just like cell phones. Every year a new cell phone comes out. Is it better than the last one? No, it's the same phone. They keep saying, well, the camera's better. Well, who cares about the camera, right? I mean, you want to take pictures, buy a real camera. A real camera will never do, I mean, a cell phone will never do what a real camera does, in my opinion. It just won't. You're never going to get, a $3,000 Canon or Sony camera quality out of a cell phone. No matter what people say, I don't care. You're just not going to get that kind of quality. Same thing with batteries. I mean, Teslas, and there's been tons of videos on YouTubers doing extensive testing on Teslas and Rivians and all of these vehicles long distance, and they're finding out that it's just not reliable. It's terrible. It's great for in town, but if you want to go across the country, it's terrible. And the batteries, the only solution is to keep adding more and more and more and more batteries. What's in a Tesla now is what it is. It's going to go 300 or 400 miles and it's going to die. And then you're going to spend 3 hours charging it. And the charging stations are terrible. One guy I watched, You know, he had supposedly had free supercharging, and then you get to a point where there is no chargers available, and you have to go to Electrified America or wherever, and those are not free. And he's paying $100 every 300 miles to charge his vehicle. So the future is definitely not batteries, in my opinion. Is it, you know, hydrogen or whatever, natural gas? I mean, it's definitely something else. It's definitely not batteries. That's not the future. These are going to end up in landfills, and you know they're just going to keep piling up. You know, I've had this crappy Harbor Freight grinder for probably like 5 years. Paid like $25 for it. I've beat the crap out of it, and it works just fine. I mean, I just saw right now Milwaukee's got this new like $600 battery grinder. Why are you going to pay $600 for a battery grinder? It's ridiculous. I mean, if you're going to be doing heavy grinding, cutting, a $600, it does, I don't care what it costs. It's not going to serve you at all. You're going to chew through batteries like crazy. And another thing with the batteries is they're getting so expensive. I was just looking at some Ryobis. They're like $100 now for like one battery. So the battery is getting more expensive. The tools are getting more expensive, but they're not performing better. They're performing worse in most cases. Yes, it's convenient if you're not near, you know, power. You can't plug anything in, but I mean, you're better off getting a cheap generator and sticking with your plug-in stuff and forget all this battery garbage, because it's just not going to serve you, especially if you got a lot of projects. What if you burn through the 5 or 6 batteries you have? Now you got to sit around and wait for them all charge up. I mean, no, it's just not logical. I get, you know, there's a time and a place for a battery tool, but you know, in my opinion, nothing is going to replace the cord. It's just not. So, you know, you could, that Milwaukee grinder, I mean, $600. This was $25. It'll do the same thing that $600 Milwaukee grinder will do. You can go get even a decent DeWalt plug-in or a Milwaukee plug-in, not battery powered, and it's going to do way better than that $600 grinder, and it's going to be way cheaper. So, I mean, I've had issues with these Ryobi batteries. This one here completely took a crap. Of course, there's great videos on how to rebuild these, so this one I may rebuild. You can buy these batteries online cheap. These are the actually, these ones they don't even make anymore. These are the 18650s. They actually don't make these anymore. I've searched for them. They're almost, some places do have them. Like there's a place in Canada that I found that still kind of has some of these, but they're actually going away with these, and there's a different model. But all you have to do is just desolder these, replace them, and it's good to go. But I mean, these batteries are toasted. They don't charge anymore. I've done every trick in the book on YouTube to try to get them to take a charge, and they just don't. So, like I said, I'm not like a Ryobi fanboy. It's just I had this already, so I already had a bunch of batteries. I got more batteries somewhere else, so I figured, well, I already have the batteries, so I might as well buy this. And I have a weed eater too. It's a battery weed eater. I don't use it very often. It also destroys batteries like in a hurry. You definitely have to have a big battery for it. The reason why I got rid of my gas one is because I just don't use it often enough to justify it. Let me grab it here. Let's see. I just have a little area around my house. It just has weeds and stuff, so let me bring the camera over here. Sorry. So this is the Ryobi one here. It's battery powered. It's actually a decent little weed eater. I've had this for maybe 3 or 4 years. Has an edger on it too. I think most of all the Ryobis do. Get the camera. The camera's not cooperating. Sorry. You just press this button here. So you kick it with your foot when it's on the ground, and then it flips. Actually, it's already in the edging position. Now it doesn't want to cooperate. Sorry, let me see. It's not cooperating. Okay, you just step on it, and then it goes back to regular mode. What's going on here? Got jammed up on me. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay, there it goes. Okay, it got really jammed up. Sorry. So that's regular mode. I don't know what happened. This thing got jammed. And then there it goes. See, and then it tilts, and then you can use it as an edger. It has this wheel here. Oh, there it goes. Okay. There must have grass or something. It's got something jammed up in there. You can hear it. But I used the crap out of it. I mean, I just have a little area, so I got rid of my gas one because gas is not always reliable. I know it sounds crazy. But it's 18 volt lithium. I think it was like $100, $75 or something like that. But yeah, gas isn't reliable because sometimes you don't always have gas, right? And every time you go to use your gas, there's always something wrong with the gas. Always something wrong with your gas. You know, you don't have gas, the spark plug's bad. You know, spark plug's bad, this is bad, that's bad. It sits, and then the carburetor's not working, so it's one of those things. You're either fighting the battery because the battery's dead, or you're fighting the gas because you don't have gas. So even though the batteries don't last forever, at least I know I can pop this battery in the weed eater and it's gonna work. Whether the battery dies or not, I have more batteries, so I don't use it for an extended period of time, but it does chew up a lot of batteries, so it's definitely slightly more reliable than a gas powered weed eater. So it's just up to you. If you don't use a lawnmower every single day, you don't use a weed eater every single day, you probably don't need a gas one. That's just my opinion. You might just be better off with a battery. If you're going to use it a few times a year, like the weed eater, I probably use that thing maybe 5 times a year, if that, maybe even less. So that's why I went with the electric one. I got rid of my gas one. Just too many problems. One day I spent like 2 or 3 hours just trying to get the stupid thing running because it sat for years, and it needed a spark plug, and it needed this, and it needed that. And I said, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to go get this battery powered one. I know they're not the greatest, but they're fine. It serves me. It does what I needed to do. So I know it's a whole rant about batteries, but I've been seeing so much, battery stuff coming out. A lot of people might feel pressured to get battery stuff, and if the situation warrants it, then do it. If you're going to be going into a junkyard, that's a great place to have battery tools. If you work in a junkyard, or you spend a lot of time in there grabbing stuff, you need to cut things or get things done real fast, and that's a great situation for a battery tool. But here in my garage, I've got plenty of outlets, so I very rarely grab any of this battery stuff. I mean, this is all if I go outside the garage. I have other drills that actually plug in, and they have 10 times the power that a battery drill does. Battery drill is never going to have the kind of power that, like this one here. This is an old one, an old Black & Decker. It's 1200 RPM. I mean, this thing is like stupid fast. It's actually too fast. Sometimes it'll take your wrist off if you're not paying attention. So, it's got way more power than any of these drills, or any Milwaukee, or anything that's out there. This thing's going to run forever. I had this drill forever. It's going to run forever. It's going to outlast any of these batteries. These are going to stop charging. I mean, that one stopped charging. Eventually these batteries are going to fail, and they're going to be useless, and I'm going to have to throw them in the trash. So what's going to keep working forever? Good old quarter tool. Don't think you have to go out and get into a stupid Milwaukee line, DeWalt line, Ryobi line. You don't need any of that crap. I mean, don't feel pressured by other people. if you want to get something that plugs in, get it. I mean, it's gonna last forever. I mean, this drill is so old. I mean, it's got to be 15 plus years old. And I know that every time I grab it, it's gonna work. It's gonna plug in. It's gonna do what I need to do. It's probably gonna break my wrist, but you know, it works, and I don't have to worry about it being charged or not charged. So, you know, these are some basic Ryobi. These aren't the, you know, the big ones. I don't even know where the bigger ones are. These are just some smaller ones, like 2 amp hour. So, yeah. But for now, they do what they need to do. I need to drill a hole, it'll drill a hole. Just so you can see this thing, how much juice this thing uses. This thing's kind of scary to use, actually. It's got a ton of, it actually has a ton of power on this. So, yeah, this thing's got a ton of power. That's why it sucks up so much battery so fast. Unlike, you know, this, not a lot of power in that. I know there's Milwaukee's that have a ton of power, but still not going to replace a good old corded drill for sure. I mean, I see these crazy guys on YouTube with like 50 Milwaukee batteries. Like, how much are those? You know, $150 a battery. But I get, you know, I guess to each their own. You know, if that's what you want to do, and you want to constantly have to worry about charging stuff all the time. That's my biggest frustration lately. Is there's so many things that need to be charged. And I've been trying to eliminate all this crap and actually go backwards. You know, even nothing beats a good old, I was talking to somebody else the other day. Nothing beats a good old air impact. I showed this one on the channel before. You know, this, no Milwaukee, no anything is going to put out as much torque as this thing. Not going to happen. You know, you will burn up that Milwaukee impact long before you get the job done. So, I mean, this thing is a beast. I've got the Matco one somewhere in another toolbox. But good old air impact, man. I'm telling you. I see so many guys are trying to hammer on something with a Milwaukee battery impact and it doesn't work, and they end up grabbing the good old air one. You know. So, you know, air tools are definitely way better. Even when I was at the dealership, when I worked at the dealership, you know, guys are just buying into the battery stuff like crazy. And when it fails, I'm over there with my, you know, air-powered impact or plug-in drill, and I'm still working. And they're, you know, they're sitting around waiting for the tool guy to come so they can get a battery replaced, or, you know, a battery tool warranted because it failed. And my stuff's still going. So that's my little rant on battery stuff. If you're thinking about getting into batteries, you know, do whatever you want to do. If you want to get into batteries, go for it. But, you know, when they start failing and you've just dropped $100 on a battery, and then, you know, it only lasts you 6 months, and you're going to try to go through a warranty process, good luck with that. I've been trying to do some videos here. I got some more coming out about warranties. I just did one on a flashlight warranty that turned out well, but I've got some others coming out that are been headaches. I did one on a cell phone cord that ended up not working. It was supposed to be lifetime warranty, and I got screwed on that. So I've got some other things that I'm going to try warrantying, and some things that I've already tried. So those videos will be coming out, talking about different warranty processes for all different kinds of things. Cell phone cables, certain tools, flashlights, knives, all kinds of stuff. So that's all I got for the rant today. Sorry. So please like and subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know, do you like battery tools? Do you not like battery tools? Where do you stand, you know? And let's have a discussion. So I thank you guys for watching. Again, please like and subscribe for more content to come. All right, later, guys.